What is going on, everyone? My name is the California Cougar, and welcome back to another episode of the Survivor Season Review Series. Last week I did a very controversial review of Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. This week we talk about the second half, seasons of Survivor. The start of the new era of Survivor, post-Heroes vs. Villains. We get an all-new cast, new location, new gameplay elements, and that, of course, is starting with Season 21, Survivor Nicaragua. So that is the season I'm going to be talking about today. And this is the first of 4 seasons in a row that are typically panned by critics and fans alike. A lot of people hate this season, along with the next 3 seasons, which we'll talk about in subsequent weeks. But a lot of people hate this season. And there's reasons to see why. However, I'm going to be honest, and once again, I'm going to get a little controversial here. I enjoyed this season more than Heroes vs. Villains. I really do. I think it's a lot better. It's a lot more fun to watch. The cast, we'll talk about that, but it's got some good moments in it. Maybe not quite as iconic as Heroes vs. Villains, but enough of the comparisons with that. Let's get into why I quite enjoy Survivor Nicaragua, actually. Believe it or not. It's one of my most underrated seasons. So we have an overrated season followed by an underrated season. So let's talk about that. First of all, the things I like about this season: new location. Very interesting location. That, of course, being Nicaragua. Yeah, it's kind of on an island. It's kind of in a forest as well. But I like the change in location. I believe there's one reward. There's a few rewards on this that, explore the locations in Nicaragua. I thought they were all fantastic. And then, of course, you have some great moments in there as well. A couple good blindsides in there. A couple entertaining as hell tribal councils. Some good cast members as well. Standouts being people like Marty and Fabio, of course. And I thought Jane was really good as well. Brenda, she was a big player. Nyako was quite the character. We'll talk about her in a little bit. And, of course, you have people like Jimmy Johnson, the former coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Hall of Famer, I believe. Jimmy T, Tyrone was entertaining, Eve, Dan, Alina, lots of other interesting characters this season. A lot of people hate this cast, and I mean, there are some duds here. You have Dan, who doesn't really do anything the whole season. You have Holly, who steals Dan's shoes. I thought that was a fun moment, by the way, where she steals Dan's shoes, his alligator shoes, and Dan's apparently this multi-millionaire or something. I don't remember how much money he had, but his alligator shoes were $1,000 or something ridiculous like that. But yeah, and then Holly ended up making it up to him at the finale by giving him these ostrich boots, as she called them. And apparently Dan had a bunch of other alligator shoes. But yeah, that was just one of the many moments this season that was quite entertaining. And then, of course, you have Fabio, who's one of the biggest characters ever. And he wins the season using a very unconventional strategy. A lot of people hate Fabio as a winner. They think he's just this dumb guy, surfer, dumb blonde type of character who just kind of followed along, coasted to the end. But if he did that, he owned it at the final tribal, for sure. He owned his weird gameplay strategy, and it worked. It got him 5 votes, enough to win. Now, supposedly, there's a rumor out there that said he was supposed to win 7-2, but 2 people switched their votes to Chase in the final tribal because they felt bad for him, or something like that. I don't remember what the exact rumor was, but it was something like that. But yeah, I think it was Brenda, Jane, Alina, and I forgot who else voted for Chase. Holly. It was Holly that voted for Chase. And then the other 5 voted for Fabio. And yeah, I think Fabio's an underrated winner. A lot of people don't really know that strategy. He did the opposite of what Russell Hantz did. Intentionally not piss anybody off. Kind of just act like he didn't know what was going on the whole time. And he did that on purpose to not piss off anybody. And it worked. It got him the $1 million. And then, of course, he went on an immunity challenge run at the right time. He was a challenge beast this season. He won 4 immunities, I believe. I think Chase won one. I think Jane won a couple. She was a strong woman for like this old North Carolina woman. She was strong. She did very well in a lot of challenges. And then, of course, you have people like Dan who are just there, and he's almost always the first one out in many challenges, or just falls way behind in like physical challenges like puzzles and stuff. Sash was interesting. He was kind of the villain gameplay guy this season. He had his alliance with Brenda, and then he turned around and blindsided her. He was an interesting player. Chase was kind of this wishy-washy guy. But yeah, so that's the main part of the cast. And then, of course, there's probably one of the worst Survivor players ever. I don't think she's the worst. We'll talk about that when we get to Season 24. I think everyone knows who I'm talking about when I talk about worst players of Survivor on Season 24. But, again, we'll talk about that person later. We're talking about Nayanka. So, Nayanka is this crazy woman who, like, goes after... Like, she talks mad smack about people like Fabio and Marty and all the other people. Like, she blows up tribal councils especially that first LaFleur tribal council with Shannon, where Shannon just went off on Chase. And then Nayanka kind of went off on Fabio. She was a crazy woman. She stiff arms a girl with one leg in order to get an idol clue. Like, who does that? Who the hell acts like that? Only some self-righteous bitch like Nayanka would. And then, of course, she finds an idol. She was actually a decent player for the first half of the game. And then she does one of the worst things ever. And this is probably why most people hate this season, is because of this moment. And that, of course, is the double quit, featuring Nayanka and Purple Kelly. Kelly Shin is her name, but people call her Purple Kelly because she has purple hair. But, yeah, like, they quit the game 28 days in because it's raining super hard, even though it rained on Samoa for 5 days straight. But it rains super hard here. They go to a tribal council on day 28, like, literally the day after Brenda was voted off. They go to this tribal council so that Nayanka and Purple Kelly can quit the game. Low move by both of them. Like, Purple Kelly's situation is kind of interesting. Apparently, the producers wouldn't let her wear any clothes except for like a sundress and a bikini. And then, of course, she quit, and yeah, she quit because she was freezing. She couldn't stay warm. Like, the only source of warmth that she had was Fabio's jacket. And then she ends up quitting the game 28 days in. And yeah, like, she was barely seen in the game. Like, she got, I think, 2 confessionals the whole game or something like that. But yeah, anyway, back to Nayanka. So Nayanka, she gives her idol up to Chase. She has an idol, she gives it to Chase because Chase is essentially the only ally that she really has in the game at this point. And then she just quits the game. After being rude, mean, disrespectful the whole game, stiff-arming a one-legged woman, only to just quit the game. She just quit the game. She did absolutely nothing this game except do that, like, talk smack about people. She's horrible. She was absolutely horrible this game. I did not like her. Like, her outbursts at Tribal were funny, but then when she quit the game like that, it was just, ugh. Get her off my screen. The worst part is she's a PE teacher. PE teachers are always like, never give up, never surrender, right? Well, she gave up and she surrendered. Makes me wonder what happened to her after she got back to America, after they found out she quit the game. Makes me wonder what happened. Yeah, not a very good example to set for your students. And of course, she has the audacity, like at that reward challenge where she announced that she was going to quit the game. Like, she announced that she was going to quit the game at a reward challenge. Her team wins the reward challenge. And then, like, Jeff makes an offering to, like, give a bag of rice if one person were willing to step out of the reward. Nayanka doesn't do it. She has the audacity to say, no, I'm going to go on the reward. Even though she's going to be leaving the game, she's going to be going on to the jury, and she's going to eat very soon. The audacity of her, man. Purple Kelly was not on the winning team, so she didn't have to worry about making that decision. But Nayanka was definitely in the hot seat for that one. Although, if there's one thing the double quit did do right, is that it set a new rule for Survivor where if you quit the game, you can no longer serve on the jury, even if you make it all the way to the jury phase of the game. Yeah, you can no longer serve on the jury if you quit, because both Purple Kelly and Nayanka served on the jury. They saw their torches standing by the exit to Tribal Council as a reminder that they quit rather than getting voted off. And then they both voted for Fabio in the end, and those turned out to be the deciding votes. Because if they don't vote for Fabio, then Chase wins the game, 4-3. So, very big influence by both of them. Very big. At least they weren't bitter at the final tribal towards anybody, really. Like, Kelly wasn't bitter, Nayanka wasn't bitter, even towards Fabio. She voted for Fabio. Like, who would have thought? The person that she got so annoyed with the whole time. But yeah, that's just one of many moments throughout this whole season that I thought was entertaining. I liked the whole Jimmy T thing during challenges. Marty, I thought Marty was a great player. It's unfortunate that he got kind of swap screwed on. Like, Jane disliked him. She was one of the few that did. And then his alliance with Jill. Like, I loved Marty and Jill. It was a shame that they couldn't go farther in the game. And then, of course, Alina. I thought Alina was underrated. I really do. I really do think she's underrated. But she just had no allies, which is why she got voted off at the merge. And then you have Brenda's blindside, which was kind of predictable, but still really good. She was so cocky at that point in the game because she had just gotten rid of Marty. So Benry, Fabio, Dan, like, they thought they were just going to get rid of him. But they blindsided her. Pretty sweet, if you ask me. Such a satisfying blindside. I thought Jane's boot was classic. Like, she threw water on the fire. She's like, I started that fire. I'm going to put that out. So, yeah, I thought that was a funny moment. Kind of over the top, but it was funny. Yeah, I thought Dan was super entertaining despite wanting to quit the game. Holly also wanted to quit the game on day 5. Jimmy Johnson convinced her not to. Yeah, which Jimmy Johnson, I do wish he had lasted a little bit longer, but he was just weak. He was older and he was weaker than the rest. Tyrone was good too. There were so many underrated moments, I thought, this season. I thought the challenges were really good. I liked the A Spot on the Floor theme. I actually liked the Medallion of Power, even though it didn't really come into play all that much. But like, it gave an advantage to a tribe in a challenge, and then that tribe would have to give up the Medallion of Power. It obviously didn't work, but I thought it was a nice concept. And of course, I love Fabio as a winner. Again, I think he's super underrated. His challenge run was awesome to watch. And yeah, like, as predictable as the season was at times, like, I don't think it's a great season, but I do think it's an underrated season that doesn't deserve all the hate that it gets. I enjoy watching it, kind of in a guilty pleasure way as well. It's got some super entertaining moments. So yeah, Survivor Nicaragua, underrated season, I think, in my eyes. Again, not one of the best seasons ever, but definitely one of the more underrated seasons, I think. I love the tribal councils. They were super entertaining. And I love the blindsides that happened this season, especially pre-merge. I thought the pre-merge was really fun to watch. Marty, he was great. I want to see Marty come back. I really do. Brenda, she was fun to watch, even though she was super cocky. And, of course, Fabio. So, yeah. Survivor Nicaragua. I think it's time to score this season. I'm going to give Survivor Nicaragua a 7 out of 10. Honestly, it was tough to decide between 6 and 7. It's If I were to give it a more appropriate rating, it would probably be like 6.5 maybe, but I think 7 is a solid rating for it. I don't hate this season. I actually kind of enjoy it. So yeah, I think it's one of the more underrated seasons of Survivor. It is the start of the dark age of Survivor, but we'll talk about some more of those dark age seasons later on. So yeah, there's my review of Survivor Nicaragua. What did you think about the season? If you have seen it, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. And of course, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos to come in the future. And until that next video, which will be next week when I talk about Survivor Redemption Island. Until that next video, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember to stay California cool. Peace!